What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 179. We start today's episode off by seeing that George Guterres is going to Exeter on loan. Sorry for laughing straight away, but if anyone's been on this Career Mode for long enough, you'll know why. I mean, that guy literally is the definition of forever alone. Get it? Forever alone? Okay, there you go, I'll stop now. Anyway, he's on his way to Exeter on loan, and also Michael and Gus declined the contract. We offered a few players improved contracts at the end of the last episode, as they have their contracts up at the end of the year, and he's declined his, which is not a surprise, because he wants to be an important first team player, but it's not going to happen with Ings and Dongu in hot form. But after that, we decided to go ahead and see that we are now in transfer deadline day. We saw we were in transfer deadline day at least, and to be honest, we have no money left. You know, we spent over £100 million already. We've got no money, so with that in mind, all I was doing was looking at some free agents and thinking maybe just as players on the cover, because as anyone that knows, anyone that's been on my career mode saves for long enough, you'll know that I am just like the ultimate person who just like has to have so many cover players. Like, I just, you know, because at the end of the day, like I used to play Football Manager a lot, and anyone who plays Football Manager knows that injury crises do happen quite often on Football Manager. You know, sometimes you do get quite a few players getting injured in one area, you know, to sort of make things more difficult. And with that in mind, I just kind of sort of take that into FIFA and have to make sure I got enough players in one area, you know. So with that in mind, I tried to sign some players. I can only afford a few because I couldn't afford the wages, but we signed Liam Kane and Rico Castagno. Kane is a right back who is 70 overall, absolutely rapid, and he looks quite decent at 20 years old. And also Rico Castagno is a 23-year-old Spanish right winger with 4-star skills, and he looks quite decent. So we just signed those players on free agents, and they'll just sit there in the resis. They'll be cover players. They'll play like once or twice a season, and they'll just be there for peace of mind. And maybe in January we'll try and loan them out, but of course that's not an easy thing to do on FIFA. But also Schalke wanted Danilo. We said we wanted a lot more money for him, because I didn't really want to let go of our right back anyway, because he is very decent, and they said no. And also as well, we couldn't afford to sign that third free agent, unfortunately, so maybe we'll try and sign him in January instead. But also Bayer Leverkusen wanted Dongu for £18.5 million. We said give us £35.5 million, because he's really good. He hasn't scored yet this season, but he's very, very good. And I don't particularly want to get rid of him because he and Ings work really well as a strike partnership. And also Spurs want Anderson Rodriguez, but as I mentioned in the first episode since rejoining Millwall, he's a really awesome young player. Only 17 years old, I think he is, and he looks very decent for the future. But Bayer Leverkusen don't want Dongu. Not a real surprise. And as you can see here, we just run down the clock because we weren't going to be able to afford any more players. All of our money had been spent. So with 1 hour to go, we decided that the last thing we would do is just show you what the clubs have done during this transfer window, and yeah, just wrap off the window and just leave it there. So this is what all the clubs have done in the window, so you can take a look at how the clubs have improved their squad. And yeah, check this out as well. We have spent £103 million. It's a net loss of just over 99 million in total, but yeah, we spent over £103 million in one window. That is the most expensive transfer window I've ever had in any career mode whatsoever. The board gave us £99.5 million, and we used every single penny of that and then some more. So £103 million spent in this window. The big movers were Dia to us for £30 million, Wickham leaving Spurs for Fulham for £29 million, and Guterres coming back to us for £23 million as well. So all the players have been players that we've used before in those top deals. So those were the top deals, and that did indeed end transfer deadline day. And yeah, it was so funny because as I was going through the side, going through all the sides there and how much money they spent, I knew we spent a lot of money, but I couldn't remember how much it was because I did all of this in one night. And I was really, really tired, and I saw £103 million. I was like, we spent how much? We spent that much money in one window? That's crazy. But yeah, it's been a really expensive transfer window, and I know I said it during Spurs a lot of the time, and you guys probably got sick of me saying it, but with Spurs we spent a lot of money, and I did keep saying if we didn't match the objectives we may get sacked. But to be honest, at Millwall, if we spend £103 million and fail to qualify for the Champions League, we're not staying. You know, we may be a bit of a legend for what we've done to Millwall, but even so, if we don't get into the Champions League, we are surely going to get the sack. There's no doubt about it. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Touch wood, we'll be okay, and if nothing else, we'll at least get into the top 4, let alone challenging for the title. But as you can see here is a look at the squad report. You can check out how the players are doing. Of course, I said at the start of the season as well, we've lost Soldado, Jay Rodriguez, and Beavers as they've retired, and also Larson, Park Jong-woo, and Stanislaus are going to be retiring at the end of the year. So So keep that in mind as well for those of you that want to make sure, sort of, for those of you that really like looking at all the players in the squad and checking out how they're doing. They will be retiring at the end of the year. But that was a look at the squad report. Here's a look at the league table, and of course you can't really judge it on 3 games, but even so. After that, we saw that Connor Black, one of our random fullbacks, has declined his contract, and also Brilliant McCullough, which is just a fantastic name, has also declined his contract, which is just great, isn't it? He says that he's going to let his contract run down and leave at the end of the year, which I don't really want to do, because as you've seen him in the squad report, he looks very, very talented. So we'll offer him a new deal as the season goes on, and hopefully we'll be able to tie him down to a long-term deal, because he does look quite good, even though he's not going to get into the side that often. But here is a look at our first scout report since we've brought in our new scouts, and as you can see, all the players look, yeah, quite average really. That player looks okay, but we'll leave him scouting for 1 more month and see how he does. But all the players look relatively average. But even so, Denmark come into us and say, will you manage our nation? We say no. We are going to wait for the England job, but that is just, it seems like the impossible dream for us to be able to manage England, doesn't it? But after that, we saw that we had a game against Fulham here at the Den in the first game of today's episode here at the Den, and trying to get ourselves 4 wins out of 4 coming into this game. And I definitely felt confident as well. We've got a fantastic side here at Millwall, there's no two ways about it, and I really do feel like we should be trying to challenge for the title come the end of the year, but if nothing else, challenge for the top 4. So as we come into this game against Fulham, they've got some good players as well. Of course, Connor Wickham, they're signing from our old club Spurs, leading the line. They've got some good players as well, but I feel like we should be the heavy favourites. And in this game, the first chance would fall to us in the 37th minute. Carrasco went for goal here, but put his shot just wide of the post. But the game was really, really poor. It was sad to say, to be honest. Not really much was happening. That was the only chance in the first half. And in the second half, we had to wait until the 55th minute when we got the second chance, as Truth gets on the ball here, plays a lovely through ball out wide to Ermakov. Ermakov gets past his man and shoots, but unfortunately Fulham were getting bodies behind the ball. We couldn't seem to find space, and it was still 0-0. But as they give the ball away here, Danny Ings tracks back, gives it to Brian Carrasco. He finds Kelvin. Kelvin plays it back to Carrasco. Nice chance here. Carrasco crosses the ball in, and a header by Ermakov is cleared off the line and put behind for a corner. So still 0-0. Couldn't seem to score the first goal of the game, but from the corner, Carrasco crosses the ball in, and how about this? Leal Guterres scores his first goal since rejoining Millwall, and it is just an absolutely incredible goal. As I said, he's got 84 finishing. You guys seem to point it out on every single squad report. We have a centre-back with 84 finishing. We've never really seen that in Guterres though, but we've seen it now. Absolutely incredible. So that stat, I always said, Guterres having 84 finishing, that's just useless, but clearly I was proved wrong. What an incredible bicycle kick. It goes over the goalkeeper, it hits the inside of the far post. I have to say, the defender on the line, I don't know why he didn't jump for it. He just stood there and looked at it. Maybe he was just mesmerised by a fantastic finish there, and he wanted Guterres to score because it was so good. But Guterres scores a fantastic goal. He is of course our captain as well. We've made him captain since he's re-signed, and yeah, what a bicycle kick. It's Millwall 1, Fulham 0, and I was just so happy with a fantastic goal for Guterres for his first goal since rejoining. It's 1-0 here, but in the 74th minute here, Fulham had a great chance to level it, but their shot was well saved by Leali, and Eric Dier cleared the ball away. But that was how the game finished, a 1-0 result. The game was very, very poor, I have to say. Apologies for that. There was just one moment of magic that separated the two sides. It was our skipper's fantastic bicycle kick, a 1-0 victory. I'm very happy with it, and yeah, it's Guterres who gets the sole goal of the game, and we win the game by 1-0 and make it 4 wins out of 4. So what a fantastic start since rejoining Millwall. But the following game is going to be against Sunderland here at the Stadium of Light, and this is the second game of today's episode, and I'm going to be trying to do at least 3 games per episode from now on. I know it's going to be quite a difficult thing to do, but I'm going to try and fit 3 games in per episode. But there's only 2 in today's. That's because we had transfer window, of course. But since we're now getting out of the transfer window, I'm going to try and put 3 games per episode. The thing is, it's really hard to do. I thought I'd say it straight away, because I do get a lot of comments every now and then saying, can you do more games per episode? It is kind of hard to do more and more games, because of course when there's a lot of highlights, it does mean that, you know, it sort of drags the episode on a little bit, and I don't want the episode to be too long, if you know what I mean. So I will try and do 3 games per episode, because I do know that's the amount most people seem to want, but it is very, very difficult. So please do keep that in mind. I always say that straight away, because I do get a lot of comments from people saying, you know, please put more episodes in the please put more games in the episode. But anyway, the first chance of this game here against Sunderland for the 8th minute, and unfortunately for us, the goalkeeper Casteels makes a very good save as Ermakov dives in for a header there, and it's still 0-0. And in the 23rd minute, Junior Malanda gets gets on the ball, gives it to Scott Triggs. Triggs finds Kelvin, who shoots with his left foot, but again Casteels makes the save. So still 0-0, but a couple of early chances in this game, a lot more exciting than the Fulham game. From the corner, it's crossed in towards Eric Dier. His header, the ball is headed away. It comes to Danilo. He finds Kelvin. Kelvin gets on the ball. Nice little fake Corona, nice little Elastico chop as well, and ends up winning a free kick here in a dangerous position. It's Eric Dier who stands over it. No more Seb Larsen anymore. He's in the resis. He's way too poor for us now. So Dier's going to be our free kick taker, but unfortunately he's yet to score one just yet, and that's a good stop by Casteels to keep the score at 0-0. So still scoreless here, but in the 44th minute, a great chance for Sunderland to hit us on the break. They end up hitting the bar, and the follow-up shot goes just wide. So just one chance for Sunderland. They almost took it. So still 0-0, but in the 51st minute here, Danny Ings gets past Sinclair with a nice turn, goes down the right hand side. Really good chance for Ings here. Stops the ball, gets onto his left foot, plays it out wide towards Ermakov. Ermakov gives it to Carrasco, but unfortunately Casteels pulls off an absolutely superb save. You see Carrasco's got his hands on his head there. What a save by Casteels. What a game he was having, and it was still 0-0. But in the 54th minute here, we get the ball out wide towards Kelvin, down the right hand side, takes on Nacer Chadley, gets onto his left foot. Nice little fake Rabona. Nice piece of skill. Keeps on going, swings in across. It's headed away, but how about this? Casteels, who was having a great game, ends up having an absolute howler for the first goal of the game. It's Danny Ings who gets it. What a start he's had to the season. And Casteels, you just have to put the blame on him there, unfortunately, don't you? He goes for the catch. He gets nowhere near it. And because of that, Ings heads the ball into the empty net and makes it Sunderland 0, Millwall 1. So 55 minutes in, Ings gets the goal, capitalising on the error by the goalkeeper, and it's 1-0 to the away side. But in the 82nd minute here, as we were closing out the win, it was still 1-0. Nacer Chadley rolls the ball forward towards Jack Colback. Colback finds Chadley again. Nice link up, and Chadley slots the ball past Liali, makes it Sunderland 1, Millwall 1, and that was how the game finishes. So we dropped points for the first time since rejoining Millwall, but it's not a bad result. A draw is pretty fair against a decent Sunderland side, and I will take the point in that game. It would have been nice to hang on for the 3 points, but I'll take the point. We're still unbeaten, and let's look at the positives. But as always, guys, thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.
I'll leave you with the full match highlights, and until next time.